Okay, so Lazy Peon, a large MMO content creator, has made a video suggesting when is the best time to get into Ashes of Creation. And let's be real, it's 2025 and people's attention span have been absolutely decimated thanks to the rise of short form content. And I thought I'd do a more in depth breakdown as to exactly what your expectations should be when getting into Alpha 2 Phase 3. So, here are how I've decided to categorize certain groups of players to help you determine what the best time it is for you to actually start. So for the first group of players, we have solo players versus group players. Solo gameplay right now is awful, especially if you're a cleric. Aside from a small group that you can try to pug every single time you get on, if you do that every time you try to get on and grind something, it's going to be a pretty tough life. Now, you could try to scour the area for a solo crafter and harvester, but remember, especially if you're in the north, the area is definitely hard to navigate. It's impossible to farm the good resource areas in the anvils because there are mobs literally everywhere. And if you can't level because you don't have a group, then you probably can't fend off the horde of mobs that are crawling around the area. If you have a group, then that's great. Honestly, even if it's a small group, if you have the Trinity, a tank, a healer, and a DPS, and a bard preferably, it's fun to just chill and grind as a small group. It's not as fast as having a giant raid group like those mega guilds out there, but MMOs are really about having fun with others, and if you just have a small group of friends that you want to hang out with, why not? So if you are a solo player, I recommend holding off until they better flesh out the solo player experience. I'm not really sure when that's going to be, so I don't have an ETA for you right now. It's probably not going to be until next year. If you do have a group though, then have at it. Just have fun with your friends, take things slow, and grind it out. The next two types of groups of players here are the casual and the hardcore players. Some people care a lot about this alpha, and I get that we're stuck here for the better part of the next year, but I think that people keep forgetting that this is an alpha. I apologize if this comes off as a little bit of a rant, but they're just trying to collect data, and the data that they're trying to get here is supposed to be treated as if it's a live service game. And sure, winning sieges and PvP fights is great, and owning a mayoral office is cool too. These are all great accomplishments that take a lot of coordination and effort. Just remember though, that there are a lot of issues with bugs and exploits going on in the game at the moment. I think I saw a couple of other channels that there's this big drama going out there about guilds exploiting it with the whole content denial thing, and it's very clear that the devs were trying to send a message that they just want the stats and the data. I think that there is a slight problem here because a lot of the guilds that are participating in this early alpha were really looking forward to it. A lot of guilds want to stake their accomplishments on the alpha too, and to do that, they want an even playing field. I can kind of understand where guilds are coming from when they feel like they haven't been given their fair shake because their goals aren't exactly in line with the devs. I think the biggest thing that is concerning the devs right now is getting the correct type and amount of data from the player base. While guilds, who make up a large section of the player base, especially your hardcore players, are a little bit more concerned about their reputation as players. If players are feeling that there's an uneven playing field, even if it's just a test, they might feel a little less inclined to play, because it's not just a test for them. They're treating it as the live service game. I won't get too much into it though, since that's not the topic of this video. One word of caution I want to give is that there will never be a second day one. Snowballing is a big part of getting ahead of others, and the moment someone gets the edge on another group, they're going to run with it. So for the casual players, this is a great time for you to get in. Just slowly take your time to learn the system as you will. They're still implementing a lot of things, but it did take me forever to learn all the little crafting tidbits, and I've made plenty of mistakes that I'll be sure to avoid on release. For example, what level of crafting you need, what type of materials that you need, how much money you need for everything, and where those crafting stations are going to be. For competitive players though, I would wait maybe just a few more weeks until the level increase patch comes in. It probably won't be before the end of the year, but the idea is that the level increase will act as an equalizer, so that players who are currently kept at 25 right now, for the last 6 months, will be in a roughly similar spot as someone who just got to that level last week and just bought a full set of gear. Aside from arenas, I don't think PvP in this game is meant to be done on an even playing field in the first place. The larger guilds are going to have better gear, more levels, more organized events, and sometimes it's kind of difficult if you're not putting your all into it. So you're better off just trying your luck when there's a more even playing field. And lastly, for our group of content creators. If you want to be a content creator for this game like me, now's a good time as any. The game's kind of a slow burn at the moment, but the pace at which they plan to release content is actually pretty good, I think. Now that there's a 24/7 game to play, there's plenty to explore and showcase, as we get a minor patch every 3 weeks and a large content patch every 6 weeks. The next biggest patch that's going to be coming out is their Engines of Chaos patch, in which they deliver on a lot of the promise that they had made previously. Based on this graphic, they're going to be introducing PvP and PvE objectives. They're going to be adding in a lot more narrative quest lines. I'm especially looking forward to their cherries on top, with the open sea fishing with the ship component types, the freshwater fishing. Like, fishing is just so fun in these types of games. I highly recommend it for you guys. As for their additional content, the Renkai are going to be coming in. They're going to be including the Summoner class. They'll have more world bosses. They'll have a mule system and the economy features put in. And then they'll just have general polish on their current zones, lighting, and performance. Honestly, I think that's pretty huge. If we get something like this every 6 weeks, which is roughly a little over a month, I think that would be just the perfect amount to release content every once in a while. Personally, the two things that I'm looking forward to the most that still haven't been announced yet are the Tolnar and the subclass mixing. So when that comes out, I'll be pretty excited. Those are kind of core features to the game, and so it might take a while to get to that point. But take it how you will. And for the last part of this video, I just want to set your expectations. For those of you who are coming in and for those of you who are waiting, I personally love that the devs know what's frustrating players right now and actually work pretty quickly to fix the issues. For example, I was literally about to make a video about how frustrating this bug is, where a node we've been working on for so long, or settlement, constantly got reset, which made the entire anvils area almost impossible to play in. Not only did they fix the bug, but they gave the settlement the EXP it deserved and automatically advanced it to stage 3. This has made things so much more convenient for me. Many of the things that my fellow community members were complaining about, from the hunting drop rates to the PvP flagging situation, got addressed. So that gives me a huge boost in confidence, knowing that they're getting the proper data that they need and they're making adjustments to their servers quickly. For my personal recommendation on whether you should start or not, whether you're casual or hardcore, a solo or a group member, a content creator or just a player, the number one thing I recommend and my biggest piece of advice is to avoid the burnout. It's funny how we're so close to the finish line now, and there are so many content creators who have exploded right before me. The funny thing is, I've kind of already learned my lesson before this game. I used to follow a game back in the day called Crowfall, and I bought into their vision 8 years before their release. Seeing how the sausage was made got me exhausted waiting for it. Pretty quickly, my excitement had turned into apathy, which later turned into resentment for my wasted hopes and dreams. I myself don't fully understand the psychology behind this phenomenon, but being too invested into something that isn't ready yet for an extended period of time is not healthy. I'm seeing this pattern reoccur right now with many different content creators. So for all my fellow hardcore players and followers of Ashes of Creation, please pace yourself accordingly and make sure to take care of yourself and set your expectations. And for those of you who would like to return to the game, I'm sure the community would be happy to welcome you back with open arms. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye bye!